back. I'm gonna turn some light on here, which I know is really gonna suck because in Seattle right now we are over 100 degrees. That's right, folks. You heard it. We are over 100 degrees in Seattle, which is insane. I'm a little wacky today. Okay, please don't message me when I am live. Okay, peeps, so obviously I have no makeup on, and I'm going to start getting ready. And I figured I'd do it while I talk to you guys, because there is, you know, oh, Lord have mercy. I have never in my entire lifetime seen people make such a massive deal out of something. Oh, come on. Sorry. If I keep going like this, it's because people keep messaging me. Anyways, I'm going to start off with some Sugar Lip Scrub by Fresh. And boy, do I love this stuff. Not to get off topic, but I'm getting off topic for a minute. If you like a brown sugar scrub, won't tear your lips apart, but will definitely exfoliate them. Is edible. Tastes good. Has a tad bit of lime in it. Then this is a really good one. Kind of hard to talk while I'm doing this, so let's let me finish up here. Okay. We'll just eat all that. Anyways, back to the topic at hand here. I've never seen something that is so, in the scheme of things, so inconsequential, that causes so much strife with people as an eyeshadow palette. I mean, seriously, we're talking about an eyeshadow palette here, people. You know, if people and, oh, this is, sorry, I'm just going to keep interrupting myself as I put the products on. So, you know, this is, again, by Fresh. This is their Sugar Lip Serum Advanced Therapy. And I really like this. If you have, like, you know, a lot of lines and stuff like I have, as, you know, we get older, we get those lovely lines on the top of our lips. Unless we get lip injections, which I'd love to get. But it's a really nice conditioning balm. Anyways, you know, if people exerted half as much, even an eighth, I mean, I'll really stretch it down. If people exerted even an eighth of the energy into issues that are going on in our world that really matter, I mean, you know, that matter, the change we could make in our world is incredible. This is pure hydrogel lift. I love this under my eyes. I've already put some moisturizing cream on under my eyes, but I always use this, and it just, oh, feels so good under my eyes. Milk Makeup has one, like a hydrating stick. This is like a little pinky guy here. I've used quite a bit of it. Ugh. Anyways, Milk Makeup, I think, has a hydrating stick, and so does Tarte. I would love to try those, because anything hydrating, I'm all about that. Anyways, you know, honest to God, I have never seen people get so in an uproar over a makeup product. Makeup, people. Makeup. You know, there's those on ones, I mean, it's very, you know, there's no middle ground in this situation. This is all either people are on the side that, yeah, it's great, it's fine, there's nothing wrong with it, or there's the other side of people that it sucks, it's horrible, it's this, it's that. This is the little Tatcha water cream I'm trying. And the dichotomy of it is really stunning, how volatile people are getting over this. It's a damn eyeshadow palette. I mean, it's, you know, we're not talking world peace here. We're not talking people's lives at stake. We're talking makeup. And you know what? I get it. I really do, because like all the people out there who don't have, PR sent to them by the buttloads, I'm one of those who has to purchase everything, except for the rare company that sends me something, which I incredibly appreciate and will always be thankful of and remember. But I'm one of those people that now, and for years before now, has always had to purchase my own makeup. I've never had anybody else to do it. So, and by the way, please excuse, did my hair fall? Oh, it did. Look at that. Half of it fell out of the bun. Please excuse the noise of fans in the background if you hear that, because honest to God, I'm not turning them off for anything. We've got air conditioning, but I've got fans throughout the house trying to blow the air conditioning around. Oh, it's just so miserable. Anyways, I've just been dumbfounded how people have responded to this. Now, I will tell you this. Do I own the palette right now? No. I actually had an order ready to go on Sephora for it, and without a doubt was going to purchase it. I love Anastasia's, sorry, I'm looking for my, for something here. Anyways, I love Anastasia's palettes. I always have, so I was game and ready to get this. Now, I was not able to get it off of their website, like a lot of people were, but this is the this is the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Primer. But one of my girlfriends was, and so before I started hearing all this, she had received it and called me up and told me, hey, you gotta come over and check this out. Have you tried it yet? And I'm like, no, I couldn't get it online. It's sold out before I can get to it. And she's like, you gotta come over and check this out. I was like, what? And she's like, no, you gotta come over here and check this out. I'm like, what in the hell can be so, that I have to come check out an eyeshadow palette? What is going on? And so, curiosity, of course, I go racing on over there, and come to find out the reason why is she was showing me, she showed me not only the look that she had created with it, but took her eye makeup off and tried it again. Now, I'll tell you this much, my best friend is by far more skilled with actual makeup application than I am. I've been applying makeup, obviously, for a very long time. I mean, I'm almost 50 years old, and I've been doing it since I was a teen. But, she's actually trained and works in a professional capacity, and she was having a lot of trouble with this palette and was really taken aback by it. Because just like I was, and a lot of other people out there, we've never seen a palette released like that from Anastasia, so it was quite a surprise. So I decided, after I checked out a few more things going on online and all this uproar about it, that I was just going to wait. I was going to cancel my Sephora order and wait, because I want to see if, it's my understanding that Norvina, who is the daughter of Anastasia, for those of you that don't know, that she was going to, I don't know, go into the factory or something, the production facility, to talk to them, find out about pressing and if errors happened in the pressing of the palette and stuff like that. So I thought, you know what, I have no doubt that, well, I can't say no doubt, but I have, you know, I would assume that I imagine Anastasia Beverly Hills is going to do something about this palette, whether they pull it and go back completely back to the drawing board, which is what I would recommend, but you know, I'm not making their business decisions for them, and that's a huge financial, you know, obviously every company that's in the industry, like at their capacity at least, has insurance to cover losses. I don't know to what degree, because obviously that's very specific per case, but you know, it would be a a big expenditure to go back to the drawing board, if you will. Sorry about that. You know, it never fails that when I go live, that's why I hate doing it on my cell phone, and I wish YouTube would allow us to use our iPad or our actual cameras, because it never fails when I go live that somebody calls me, and of course the minute a phone call comes through, it interrupts the stream, and instead of going right back to the stream, even though I hit decline on the phone, it starts a new stream over. Jesus. Anyways, let's hope I don't have any more interruptions, but the point I'm trying to make is that here's my issue. You know, I did play around with her palette for quite a while. I would say we were probably a couple hours messing with it, trying to figure out, because we were, I mean, honest to God, we were both stumped, because it's nothing like I've ever seen from Anastasia, and she shared with me in her experience that it's nothing like she had ever seen either. So we were kind of just really kind of bamboozled, if you will, trying to figure out what the hell is going on here, and what was Anastasia thinking with this. You know, what was their plan? It's very evident. I mean, you know, you got to be blind to not be able to see that clearly they were trying to put out a palette that was going to be talked about in terms of pigmentation. I mean, I don't see any other reason why they would go so bang into the wall on the pigmentation unless that was their goal. But the problem is that in doing that, and in changing the formula, they kind of created another problem, which is really unfortunate, but that's part of learning. You know, that's part of growth, is that, you know, I think it's probably been pretty distressing for them, just in general, as it would be for any company, regardless of the field you're in, to have something fail in the eyes of the consumers that you set about to please is not going to be enjoyable. On top of that, because of the fact that, to my knowledge, Anastasia has really never released a product that has not been widely adored, except for maybe one of their highlighting palettes people kind of grumbled about a little bit. But other than that, pretty much everything that they've released has been, you know, very bad connection. Jesus, what is going on? Anyway, so, you know, I think you kind of get a little bit complacent when, you know, when you constantly have one success after another. I think complacency sets in, and, you know, that's, I don't know. But here's my issue. Quite frankly, and I'll be honest about it, it's pissing me off hearing people saying that it's people's application skills that are causing the problem. I mean, that's just straight up pissing me off. You know, I don't mind. You know, I'm not one of those people that's just going to go out there and say, you know, oh, their product's horrible and this, that, and the other thing. But then when you have people come out and say that there's nothing wrong with the product and the problem is application, and one of those today really shocked the shit out of me and pissed me off, and that was Stephanie Nicole. You know, I have always, since the start of her channel, I've pretty much been subscribed to her because I enjoy watching her. I still enjoy watching her. But today, she released her version of a review on this palette. And I didn't feel it was a review at all. I felt it was more of a, this is how you do it. This is how you make this work. You know, this is how you apply these. See, they work. And that pissed me off even more. Because here's the thing. Here's my feeling on it, okay? If Anastasia Beverly Hills, let me just back up a minute here. When a company manufactures something, okay, again, doesn't matter what field you're in, what it is you're manufacturing, when a company sets about manufacturing a product, one of the first things that they have to figure out, one of the first things they have to establish is what is our target audience. I don't care if you're a producer and you're thinking of working on a film, or you're in the beauty industry and you want to release a product. What is my target audience? Because you need to know what your target, what consumer it is you're targeting. Are you targeting a, you know, the younger group and the younger ages? Are you targeting, you know, younger females, younger males? Are you targeting a mature audience? Are you targeting a widespread audience of all ages? You know, so you need to know your target audience. Now, in my experience, Anastasia Beverly Hills is not targeting specifically, or at all for that matter, a pro audience. Do they enjoy having their products used by pros? Naturally, of course. But from what I can see, from the way their company is set up, from the products they've released, from the statements they've made, from their history, everything about the way the company is devised says general consumer. So when you're targeting when your target audience is the general consumer, in this case the general makeup consumer, you need to create products that the general consumer can and will use. It's just that simple. You know, it's like you don't put out, oh, well, we're gonna, you know, here's what happens. We're gonna target the general consumer, but we're gonna put out pro products, and we're gonna put out pro products at a pro price, and we're gonna put out these pro products that require some kind of knowledge to work with them. Well, you're going to have a bunch of pissed off consumers if you do that, because first off, they don't want to pay the pro prices. Secondly, they don't know how to use the pro product and how to apply it or what have you. And thirdly, they're going to be pissed because they paid a high price for a pro product that they can't use. So you get my point about target audience, I hope, at least. Now, in this case, by Anastasia Beverly Hills saying this is a sister palette to the Modern Renaissance, everything about the palette tells you that it is related to the Modern Renaissance. Not only have they directly said it's related to the Modern Renaissance, that is the sister or the darker side of the Modern Renaissance palette, but the packaging is targeted towards that. Again, target audience, to draw that, so the consumer puts the two together. As an example, if you look at, just to show you, I've got a couple of her palettes here right now. Here's the Modern Renaissance, okay? And you look at this one, what's this one? Shadow Couture? Yes, Shadow Couture. You can clearly tell these products are not, by the eye, the target is not to tie them together. Okay, just like with, here's the Self-Made, okay? Or even the Self-Made in the Shadow Couture. You can see, they share nothing alike in common with the design of the packaging, the shape of the packaging, anything. So, by Anastasia not only saying that this is a relation to the Modern Renaissance, but designing the entire packaging and the entire affect to look like the darker side of Modern Renaissance, you're telling consumers this is what you're getting. Yes, what?
Are y'all getting lectured?
What? What's up? Tab. Since Coke doesn't want to come back, no, it's still a Coke product, so what the hell. Anyways, I'm going, just real quick, I'm going to keep going here. I purchased the Hourglass, I really wanted to try this, the Vanish Seamless Finish Foundation Stick. And I got the color Alabaster. Anyways, oh, well that was, well I'm just scared to death I'm going to break this thing. Oh, it like clicks. So it stops at intervals. That's really interesting. Oh boy, I hope this is the right color. Oh wait, let me put on my color corrector first. I'm going to use the Giorgio Armani High Precision Retouch. So anyways, the point I'm trying to make here though is so you're telling your consumers that it's basically the same. You're showing your consumers it's the same by the design. And then when your consumers purchase it and open it, it's nothing alike. That right there, I believe, more than anything, is what has people reacting so vehemently. It's because, you know, when you expect something, you know, it's kind of like Jaclyn Hill hyping up her palette, and, you know, she says that, oh no, the cake's nowhere near what mine looks like, and then the palette comes out and it damn near, it's the same damn thing. She led people to expect it was something different than was shown, and people got pissed off about it. Now that's what happens. That's the whole thing with, you know, with earning and keeping people's trust, is that when you say something, it is as it is. It's not, you don't turn around and have something different. Now in this case, the Subculture palette is drastically different. And the fact that, you know, I just can't get over, I really, really cannot get over the fact that people are really out there saying that it's application error. I mean, you know, there's one sure way to piss people off really fast, other than misleading them, and that is just to tell them they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Oh no, it's not, the product's not the problem, you're the problem. No, I'm sorry, I don't care. And when I heard Stephanie Nicole basically say that in her, you know, in her review, but on top of it, she wrote that in the comments straight out. Said 100%, because somebody responded and said, just like I am, it's not application error that the problem is. And she responded in her comment, it is 100% application error. What the fuck is she thinking? Honest to God. And you know what I felt when I watched that? Because the reason I've always enjoyed watching Stephanie Nicole is because I always felt like no matter what the product was, you know, she works in the professional makeup industry. Side shoot of it, I believe, in nail polish. But I always felt as though no matter what the product was, no matter what the brand was, you know, she gave you the good, bad, and the ugly. Or the indifferent. In this case, I didn't hear her utter any, you know, not like I want her to say bad things about a brand or a product in particular. It's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I want. But when it's very evident that there is a problem, and remember, I'm saying this based on the general consumer, because that is their target audience. When there is very evidently a problem based on that, oh boy, this feels interesting, then I expect someone to say it. And not only did she not say it, she went in the absolute opposite direction and was showing people how to frickin' apply it. Oh, this is how you apply it to make it work. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna try with one of these brushes real quick first and see how it, and then I'll try it with a beauty blender. I have never tried this foundation. This is understand first time here, so we'll see what she does. I've heard rave reviews about it, so I'm curious as to how it'll wear on my skin and what it'll look like. Because, you know, everybody you hear reviewing it, since there's not a lot of people my age out there reviewing, you know, most of them are younger, and products perform a lot differently on younger skin than they do mature skin. It's just that simple. Now, they call this a full coverage. at least with this brush, I wouldn't. And you saw I applied quite a bit because I can still see some discoloration here through it and my little friendly pimple there. So, I don't know, we'll keep going and try it. Anyways, it not only upset me that she said that, but I felt like I lost a lot of confidence in her as a unbiased reviewer because I felt like it was coming from an incredibly biased standpoint. Yeah, sorry to keep getting interrupted. Yes.
What are you getting ready for?
I'm just trying this. What is it can do for you? No thanks. Anyways, I really felt as though it was probably the most biased sounding. I'm not saying she was biased, I'm just saying as a viewer, this is what it sounded like to me. It sounded like the most biased review I've ever heard on her channel before. I mean, you know, if you go on Instagram, where Anastasia Beverly Hills, you know, they have, I don't know what, I don't remember what they call them, but they basically have men and women who, you know, use their products. They're like brand representatives, I guess you would say. I felt like I was listening to another brand representative and listening to her review. That's what I felt like. And it ticked me off because I was like, you know what? Well, you know, this is what happens that just galls me to no end, is that people get some influence behind them, and you know, they put out good reviews, and in putting out those good reviews, they start building the trust of their audience. And then I'm going to go back to this. I don't know if my beauty blender just wasn't, I think it's not damp enough and it just doesn't feel good spreading this product. But anyway, so then they get a trust, you know, they get an audience that trusts them behind them. And then they go and do something like that. And so now, you know, basically what she's done with this review is tell an audience that has trusted her to this point that there's, I mean, for all intents and purposes, she said there was nothing wrong with the palette. It's just highly pigmented. It has fallout. You need to learn how to apply it right. That's what, in 39 minutes, that was the message she conveyed. Now, I can't say it any other way. That pissed me off. It really did. Just like, and it's no different from the brand representatives that I've seen on Instagram saying the same thing. That's why I said she sounded like an ABH brand rep. She did not sound like an impartial, unbiased reviewer. That's not at all what I picked up from her review. Now let me tell you this, and she did say in it though that you shouldn't have to change your makeup application style for a palette. That was probably, in my opinion, the most intelligent thing that she said in that entire, and again, I want to make real clear here, I am not throwing shade at Stephanie Nicole. I think she appears to be a wonderful, intelligent, well-spoken, articulate, beautiful woman. I'm not throwing shade at her, but I think, you know, when you got to be willing to take criticism, the good and the bad, okay? Just like I do. And trust me, you know, there's nobody that gets criticism more than an author. Because when you're writing, some people love you, some people hate it. Some people think God's going to burn you in hell for what you've written. Okay, you get it all. So, you know, if you put yourself out there in a professional capacity where you're putting your opinions out there, she said it 1,000 times on her channel. Not literally, but you know what I mean. That, you know, you put yourself out there and your opinions out there. Some people are going to like them, some people aren't going to like them. Well, I didn't like her opinion today at all. I didn't like her opinion, and I didn't like the way she delivered it. And it wasn't the fact that I want to stress, it's not the fact that I expected or wanted, as she claimed. That's one of the first things she said. Everybody's been messaging her and expecting her to come on and bash this palette. No, that's not what everyone was expecting. But you know what they were expecting? They were expecting her to come on and give her honest review of the palette. That's the difference that I don't think she quite caught on to. You know, I thought it was a real snarky comment she made that, you know, everybody was waiting for her review and waiting her to get out there and bash products. But it's also very self-revealing, because that states that she herself knows that she does that a lot. She's very critical, as should be, on products, and she's pretty forthright in her opinions on those products. So then, hopefully you get my gist with this, to see somebody who's normally, if there's a negative if there's an issue with a particular product, they bring it out without issue. They'll talk about it. To see that very person then turn around and literally the most controversial product out there that thousands of people, hundreds or thousands of people are having problems with, to turn around and say there's nothing wrong with it, it's application error. You know what I wrote in her comments? Besides the fact of what I thought of it, conflict of interest. That's what it seemed like to me. It seemed like she had a conflict of interest. And quite frankly, there's one thing I've learned over all the years of doing business, is if you have a conflict of interest, you remove yourself. It's just that simple. Because, you know, if somebody's a personal friend, let's say, or if somebody you work with in a professional capacity, or your moms are best friends, or, you know, your family grew up with them, or whatever, you have a personal tie to that person in some way other than a business relationship, that presents a conflict of interest, and you should remove yourself. It's that simple. And if I ever find myself in a situation like that, where I find that I have a conflict of interest, and I know I cannot deliver an unbiased review on a product, I'll tell you so. I got nothing to hide. Literally. So, you know, and there's a very real possibility of that, because as an author and a writer, I work in the beauty industry as well. Many of the, you know, if you go to, I'm not going to state names, but you go to somebody's website, you go to, let's use Honest as an example, you go to their website and you read all the descriptions on the product, or you read all these descriptions on the back describing that. That's what I do in the beauty industry, is I write those. I write them on websites, I write them on products for product design. So, you know, there may be a time where I find myself in a situation, and I knew that when I started my channel, where I might find myself in a conflict of interest. And if that happens, then I remove myself. I just don't do it, because to me, that's ethically wrong, and it's morally wrong. Because, you know, when I'm out here talking to you guys, and I'm, you know, as far as I'm concerned, at least, you know, it's just my opinion, again, but I feel as though it's, when I come on here and tell you I'm going to give you unbiased reviews, then I better damn well hold that up. And I cannot stress enough that, you know, watch your video if you haven't already. Watch it and you tell me what you think. You tell me if you feel it was an unbiased review. Because I didn't. I felt it was very much the opposite. So, now back to the actual issue of this palette, I will say this, that I way overdid it, or it's showing up way more on this particular color of foundation is, I think, a little lighter than what, because look at that, it's like, whoa, yeah, I'm gonna have to tamper that down. By the way, this is the Benefit Hoola contouring stick that I've really been testing out, so that's why I've been using it so much, because I want to, like all the products I use like this, I really want to test them out before I give a final review on them. Anyways, now when it comes to the actual palette itself, I will say this. Is there something wrong with the palette? No, I don't think there's anything wrong with the palette, the way they designed it. because in order for there to be something wrong with the palette, that means that the way they designed it, something failed in that process. Now, unless Norvina or somebody on behalf of Anastasia comes forward and says, hey, you know, we found out we had a problem with the pressing, you know, then maybe, you know, you have to consider differently. But when I look at the ingredients on the Subculture palette versus the Modern Renaissance palette, they are nothing alike. Absolutely nothing alike. Their base ingredient is different, which, you know, and I want to address that real quick too, because so many people out there are making a big deal about talc. I mean, talc this and talc that, and how it's bad pouring in. Okay, do you want to go snorting talc? No. Clearly not. Is talc something that is going to cause you to have some, you know, major respiratory issue? In my personal opinion, unless you have, like, you know, severe issues with asthma or something, no, I don't think so, because you're not, you know, it's not like you're inhaling loads of talc. Of course, in the case of this palette, it's a little bit different, I guess, isn't it? But, and you know, talc is, you know, it's such a controversial issue, because people, you know, all it takes is a couple articles to come out and say this is bad for you, and people just go nuts and run with it instead of doing their own research. And I'll tell you this, talc and mica are used interchangeably. In my experience, from what I know, and again, I don't work on that side, I don't work on production or development side in the industry. So this is just what I know from what I've heard from people who do, is that obviously talc and mica are interchangeable. They're fillers, plain and simple. You know, as opposed to just having straight pigment, which would be probably ungodly unaffordable. They're used as fillers, and they're both minerals. Typically, if a company wants to use something that has oil-absorbing properties, or that they want extremely matte, they're probably going to lean towards talc. If they want something that has like a reflective, reflection, shine, they're typically going to go with mica as their filler. But again, you know, that's all speculation, and the formula of the, you know, that they're creating is going to determine all that. But what shook me was when I looked at the ingredients. Let me pull them up here real quick, because I wrote them all down because I really wanted to look into this. I was just, okay, well, you're not going to be able to see this, but this is my ingredient list right here. And when I look at, as an example, a shadow from, let's take Destiny as an example. It has approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ingredients plus pigment, plus color, okay? And whereas if I go up to, say, let's take Venetian red out of the Modern Renaissance, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 plus colorants. So they've gone from a 19 shelf to a 7 shelf formula. And a lot of what was removed are binders and ingredients that give you that, like smectants, that give you that real nice glide over the skin. Those are a lot of the ingredients that were removed from here. I mean, I'm not going to go through all of them. If you guys are really interested in that, I can break down, let me know in the comments, and I can do a breakdown of all the ingredients to let you know what they're for and what's missing, but I don't think it's really necessary. And another thing I noticed in this is that in the Modern Renaissance formula, pretty much every matte shadow went mica dimethicone, boron nitrate, or it went mica, boron nitrate, dimethicone. Top 3 ingredients. So regardless, mica was first in every one of them on the Modern Renaissance, of course, but dimethicone and boron nitrate were either 2 or 3 interchangeably, depending on the color. Whereas in the Subculture palette, the first ingredient is talc, and then we go to HDI, trimethyl, hexacetate, it's a polymer, okay? Zinc stearate, what is this, I don't even know how to pronounce it, capryl glycol, then dimethicone. So we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients in before even dimethicone is there. I mean, the change in the formula is drastic. And I want to make this really clear. These things are loaded with pigment. There's no question. This is a highly, highly pigmented formula. But I don't think that's, I just think they went the wrong way with this. I really do. I cannot stress that enough. I really think they went the wrong way with this. I think, in my personal opinion, I think that Anastasia Beverly Hills was trying to, how can I say it? Basically trying to blow the socks off of people by coming out with a formula that was the most pigmented on the market. That's kind of the feeling I get of what they were going after with this. In other words, they were hoping to hear, oh my god, this is the most pigmented thing I've ever used in my life. Look at how pigmented these shadows, because everybody seems to be so wrapped up in how pigmented eyeshadows are anymore. It's just ridiculous, I'm sorry. And that's just my opinion. I think that they got so, I think that they lost their focus. I think their focus was misplaced, if you will. Because personally myself, again, target consumer. Your target consumer is the general makeup user. Now ask yourself this, as a, just consider if you're an average, maybe you're an average makeup user like me. You're not a, ooh, there went all my powder. I only got a little thing of this by Terry hyaluronic acid powder, and I just dumped a buttload of it. Anyways, consider that you're the average makeup user, and ask yourself, do you want an eyeshadow that's so pigmented that you can barely touch your brush to it? Because remember, part of the way they get that pigmentation is by, people are complaining about the massive fallout. You're not going to get that incredible strong pigmentation with highly packed powders. Well, I can't say you can't get it. I mean, there's companies out there, because I have heard people say, oh, well, you can't do it. Yeah, it can be done. Look at Viseart. Viseart's got incredibly pigmented shadows, and they don't end up all over everything, just dipping your brush into them. So it is possible, I believe, in my opinion. Again, these are all my opinion. So I think the whole thing about, it has to be, it basically has to shatter under your brush in order to be pigmented is a load of, what. I think it's, for lack of a better term, I think it's an excuse to excuse away. Because what comes down to is this, is that in my personal opinion, this is not a palette for the general consumer. And when you are a brand that is developing products for the general consumer, then you have to put out, I just can't stress enough, target audience. Target audience. I want to know from Anastasia what their target audience was with this product. That's what I want to know. Who were they hoping to appeal to with this palette? And I'm also, you know, one thing I'm also curious about. Oh, hi, sweetie. Yeah, I don't blame you. Not a problem. I'm just getting ready, and you know me, just blabbing away while I get ready. I want to try out some new palettes, but I'm still trying to get the face on, and I'm sweating like a pig. But you know, another thing I'd really like to know. I've always wondered why, when, you know, I'm somebody that likes things to be aesthetically pleasing, and of course you know, a lot of people, or some people, whatever, have brains that find things aesthetically pleasing that have less order to them. I find things aesthetically pleasing that have more order to them. So like, for instance, when I look at the new palette, oh, dang it, get going. When I look at the new palette, I think to myself, why did they put the colors in that order? Because, you know, if I were to go through and rearrange the colors in that palette so that they were in from lightest to darkest, to me, it would be much more appealing. I mean, it's a beautiful palette, the colors now, don't get me wrong. It would just be much more appealing to me and much more inspiring and easy for me to see where to go with it. I guess that's what it is. When I see things in shades from light to dark, then it's just much easier for me to deal with. I think it's, I mean, you let me know down below in the comments. Is it easier for you? Because, you know, if you think about it, when you're doing an eyeshadow look, you're starting off with a light shadow. Or at least a lighter shadow, depending on your skin tone. You know, you're not starting off, at least for the most part, you're not starting off with a dark color. You're starting off with light, then you go into your midtones, then you go into your fuller saturation, and then you're going to your very dark to add depth. So what I don't understand is when brands put together palettes like this, why don't they do them in that order? Why don't they do them like that? Like when I look at Loraque's palettes, I used one the other day on my channel. I used the Loraque Mega Pro 3. To me, it was beautiful in its layout because it was light to dark. They had the mattes, in this case, because, you know, it's a big palette and there's a lot of colors in it, they had the mattes, the first two top rows are mattes and the bottom two were shimmers, and they were light to dark. And then when oh man, are you kidding me? Oh, as if I wasn't crying enough because my cello pencil was almost out. I just dropped it on the table and it literally broke the tip of what was on it left. Anyways, but when I look at, like, for instance, this new Anastasia palette, the Subculture, you know, they start off with what they call a duochrome pink. To me, it's not duochrome at all. I mean, sure, it may look white in the pan, but it's straight up pink. And why they chose that color, I'd really like to hear from Norvenus, and she's the creative, as far as I know. Bella's watching and said, hi, Grandma. Hi, Belly. I love you. Nanny loves you. Hi, Belly. That's my grandkids are watching me along with my daughter-in-law, so anyways, I just, no, I don't understand that. The whole, you know, here she created this dark palette that, you know, is supposed to be the dark side of the modern Renaissance, and it starts off with like a baby pink. And none of the other colors in there. That's one of those colors that when I look at it, I think, how the hell am I going to put that to play? Where's that go? Does it go with these dark kind of aubergine colors? No. Does it go with a peach? Well, maybe. You know, does it go with the blue? No. Does it go with the green? No. I didn't understand that one at all. So I'm really curious what her thinking was on the color selection that she put together on that. And then the other thing I noticed that when we were messing with it is that you know, there's only one metallic in the entire palette. A lot of people love that. I don't, personally, myself. I would much rather I want at least, you know, if I'm going to have a 14 pan, then I want at least 2 or 3 of them to be metallic. You know, granted, I guess some people could call the 2 duochromes metallic, but they're not. And, you know, the one duochrome, I believe it's called Electric. It's kind of a green that flashes gold. It's beautiful. I wish I had it here so I could compare it and show you guys, but it very much reminds me of this one right here, which is, what is this called? This is Max I Like to Watch. Let me show you this. Because when I tried this over at Lisa's house, the first thing I thought when I swatched it, I thought, God, that looks like Max I Like to Watch, which is one of my favorites. Of course, this is a much more intense. This is what I wanted out of Electric. I mean, when you see this, this is what I wanted out of Electric, and you just didn't get it. Now the lighting's kind of hard to pick up here, but see that? I mean, that beautiful. Yeah, it is a beautiful shadow, isn't it, sweetie? That's Max I Like to Watch. That is what I expected out of Anastasia's duochrome, because this is a duochrome. It's very similar. I would say that this one is more, this is like a greeny gold that flashes peach. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I am too, hun. And I was just talking about it earlier, how upset I've been about the comments that are being made on, you know, just to quickly rehash, since we have some new people that have joined us, I just basically said that, to be honest with you, it was Stephanie Nicole's, her review video that kind of spurned me to get out here and talk about it, getting ready here, because I just, to hear another person say that it's user error that's causing the problems, just, and especially somebody in a review capacity like that. You know, I've several of Anastasia's gals that do her beauty reps have been saying that on Instagram and stuff, but to hear Stephanie Nicole get out here and say the same thing, I just, oh, it just ticked me off, to be honest with you, because it's not user error. And to be perfectly straightforward about what, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it just, you know, that's what I said earlier in my video, is that, you know, she's built up a reputation on her channel as always being very straightforward and very honest, and if there's a problem with a product, that she talks about it, and she's no holds barred. But when I saw her review of the Subculture palette today, I literally felt like I was watching another Anastasia rep. And it was very disappointing to me, because I did not feel that it was unbiased in any way. She did not really review the palette. More, she sat there and showed us how to use it, how you had to apply it. Now, as I was talking about earlier in the video, is that here's the problem I have with that, and with her or anyone else saying that it's user error that's the problem, is that I can't say it enough with stressing it, is your target audience. Anastasia Beverly Hills' target audience is the general makeup user, okay? Not pro makeup, you know, of course they like pro makeup artists using their products. I mean, it gets their name out there even more. But overall, you know, they're selling in Sephora, they're selling in Ulta, you know, they're targeting a general makeup community, the general user. And if I have to have somebody sit down and give me an instruction manual on how to apply them, that you have to pat them on and you can't blend them, because if you start blending, they muddy together and the colors will balance out and then they'll gray out. What the? Are you serious? Did you really say? I could not believe she said that. Could not believe she said that. With a straight face, as if it was perfectly normal. No, it's not perfectly normal. I can take, yeah, I mean, I could not believe that. She said that, you know, when you're applying the colors, that you need to pat them on, and then once you pat them on, just very gently pat over them to blend them, to not actually blend, because if you actually blend like you normally would, they'll gray out. That is exactly what she said. And my jaw literally hit the floor. And I thought, do you hear yourself? I mean, that's for sure. I agree. You know, that's the thing that I did not understand about anything in the creation of this palette. I think it's a beautiful palette, but I think that people need to realize you're not dealing with an eyeshadow palette. The changes in the formula, the incredible, this is the most minimalistic eyeshadow formula I've ever seen. There are only 7 ingredients in this besides the colorants. 7. And that's down from what I counted them earlier, 19 in the Modern Renaissance palette on average. So they more than cut the formula in half. They removed a buttload of binders. They removed surfactants. They removed products that help things blend. They removed all kinds of stuff. And what you're left with is basically a pigment with a little bit of dimethicone in it to help it blend, to help it smooth a little bit on, and a little bit of binders. I mean, that's pretty much what you're left with, and preservatives. Oh, I know. Yes. Yeah. Well, I've heard that people are saying that they're accusing Anastasia Beverly Hills of copying the androgyny palette. Yes, I have heard that. And you know what's so funny about that kind of stuff when I hear that? Is like, you know, you could go back, as an example, take Jeffree Star. You could go back through Jeffree Star's lip colors and Lime Crime. People were accusing him of copying Lime Crime because their colors came out before his did, and he has many, many colors that are remarkably similar to Lime Crime's. I mean, it's just, you know, I've never seen people in such an uproar over an eyeshadow palette. Personally, myself, I don't really give a rat's ass. It's an eyeshadow palette. If people put even 1/8 of their energy that they're out here just whacking out over this eyeshadow palette, if they really put it into needs and issues in our world that are actually important, we'd have a different world to live in. But, you know, anything to complain and bitch about. My problem, though, comes in the fact of people out there trying to shift the blame to the users. That's where I have a problem. This is not user error. Straightforward, what it is, I'll tell you what it is. It's a pigment palette. That's what it is. This is Marc Jacobs' Finish Line, by the way. The Anastasia Subculture palette. Yeah, it's not, yeah, I agree, man. The Anastasia Subculture palette is a pigment palette. It is not an eyeshadow palette, and it should not be marketed as an eyeshadow palette if they're going to keep it in its current formula. And it certainly should not be marketed as a sister to the Modern Renaissance. And I think that I can't stress enough that, you know, I just think they made it, you know, that's part of learning and part of growing. You have things happen that don't turn out the best. And I think that Anastasia made a big mistake by changing the formula. You know, and if you want to change the formula and create a new formula that's the most pigmented thing in the world, because everybody has to be, you know, have the most and be the best and be this, and it's just ridiculous. Just create a good product. You know, I don't want the most pigmented eyeshadow in the world, because in the minute you touch your brush to it, you get a mess like you have with the Subculture. I mean, literally, I touch my brush to it, no matter how lightly I touch my brush to the palette, I have a load of product on the brush. I don't want that. I don't want a palette, you know, I want to be able to sometimes just pick up a palette like I do with the Modern Renaissance and, you know, pick up some product, swirl it out, brush it out, you know, blend it out beautifully and be on the go. I don't want to have to sit there and do this every time I want to use an eyeshadow. It's insanity. And to say that people are the problem, that they don't know how to apply eyeshadow, and when I saw Stephanie Nicole say that, man, I'll tell you, it pissed me off. I'm like, who are you to be sitting here saying that this is user error? Where the hell? This is Marc Jacobs, what is this thing, Omega Bronzer and Fantastic? Yeah. Anyways, if you want an extremely, extremely pigmented eyeshadow, I don't even want to call them eyeshadows. They're not eyeshadows. They're pigments. straight up, they're pigments. They are not eyeshadows. So, anyways, I was really disappointed with people's reaction to it, and I've been just as disappointed with the fact of how whacked out people have gotten. And you look at people's channels and their reviews, and there's people like, oh, dude, yeah, it's pretty. I've just started using it, just started testing it out, so I'm kind of new to it, but so far I really like it over that. But seeing people attack each other and insult each other over eyeshadow, I just don't get it. But anyways, I am very curious. Beautiful color. I mean, this is the Baked Gelato Vivid Swirl Blush in Papaya. Beautiful. You know, I just cannot get over these. Feel so hard. They look hard. You know, when you look at them, you think, oh, that's going to be really hard packed pressed in there and hard to get product. But look at that. I mean, it's not. It doesn't. It's very deceiving because it looks like it's really hard in there, but it's not. Anyways, you know, honest to God though, if I were in a position of, which I'm not, but if I were in a position of offering advice to Anastasia Beverly Hills about how to deal with this palette, my first question would be to ask them, do they truly want this to be the sister palette to the Modern Renaissance? If they said yes, then I would look at the financial implications of pulling the palette and reformulating it. If the financial implications were not too dire, especially, you know, you have to weigh the benefits and versus the risk. You know, is it more risky keeping this palette out there and having people unhappy with it and having people continue to talk about it and complain about it, or is the PR you're getting, is that worth the risk? You know, I mean, every company has insurance for a reason, but if I were them and they truly wanted this to be a Modern Renaissance excuse me, if they truly wanted this to be a Modern Renaissance sister for me, and it were an option, I'd pull it and I'd reformulate it. Because the worst time, in my opinion, to release a new formula is in a follow-up product. You just don't do it. I just don't know why they made that decision. Honest to God, I don't. I will never be able to figure that out. I would love to hear from Anastasia why, or from Norvina, why she made that decision. This is brand new for me too. This is the Marc Jacobs Recover Perfecting Coconut Setting Mist. So let's, oh, sorry, I had to turn towards the fan because the fan was just blowing it all away. Anyways, that just, it made no sense to me, none at all, because usually, you know, when you release, if you're going to release a new product, new formula, yes, pull it, yeah. You know, if you're going to do that, you do it with a separate product, a product that has absolutely nothing to do with what you currently have in, you know, out in your line right now. The Modern Renaissance sister, it should perform like the Modern Renaissance, because that is what people, your customer base, your target customer base, has come to know very well what the how the Modern Renaissance performs, how the shadows perform, how they blend, what the pigmentation is like, and there was nothing wrong with that formula. Why did they change it? I just don't get that, and I would really love to hear from Norvina why she made the choice to change that. Okay, so now that I finally got my face done, oh, I bought new MAC blushes and I wanted to use them and I forgot. I bought some new, I went in yesterday and saw my girl at MAC, Kai. Hi Kai, love you. She always calls me when there's new releases coming out. Yesterday she was sick, so she wasn't there, but she held them for me like a sweetheart. Hope you're feeling better, honey. So I saw Tyler, hi Ty, and I decided to get, you know, these palettes are really interesting. MAC released 6 of these, and they're called, what the hell are they called? Personality something, Perfect Personality or something like that. They are called personality palettes. They're $39.50 a piece. They released 6 of them. I only purchased 2. I purchased Basic Bitch and Prissy Princess. How do you like that? I'm a Prissy Princess and a Basic Bitch. And then I also picked up, I've been real curious to try Jouer. This is a lip cream duo that has, what colors in it? So it has, let's see here, this one that doesn't have metallic in it, which you can't, there we go. This is Melon, and this is Citronade Rose. So I thought that was a lip topper, but I guess not. I really want to try their lip toppers. And then here's one of the blushes I picked up. Oh, I want all of these. I want every color of these. I love MAC's Extra Dimension blushes. I think they're absolutely gorgeous. This is Sweets for My Sweet. And then let's try the color. Oh, I just love their Extra Dimension formula. So that one's got quite a bit of shimmer to it. Real light pinky. But I just love them. I just love them. So I picked that one up. And then picked up another one. This one's called Into the Pink. This is the one I really... They have a couple other pink ones I really want, but I couldn't get them all. So again, that's Into the Pink. Hard to see the color with the light. I just think they're so pretty. You know, they're Extra Dimension ones. They all have shimmer though. So if you don't like shimmer, you're not gonna like these. Look at that. I mean, you could almost, darker skin could use that as a highlight for sure. Look at the reflection of that. Gorgeous. And what else? I picked up, oh yeah, I forgot about this. I picked up their Dazzle Glass in Steppin' Out. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? This is, best way I can describe this color, it is a peachy pink with, looks like either blue or purple or both sparkles. It's got MAC's Yummy Vanilla. Yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to see, but it's a really pretty color. A lot of sparkle in that. I love any kind of metallic lip gloss, anything with sparkle. Oh, I just love it. And then I also picked up the Unisex Healthy Glow All Year Hydrating Summer Tint Moisturizer from Charlotte Tilbury. And I'm a little worried about this. I don't know if it's going to work, but I will be trying it on camera. I'll actually be filming a review on that because I tried in store. They gave us, oh, she put a little Scent of a Dream. This is Charlotte. Like the pink one? Cool! I do too. She put a little thing of Scent of a Dream. That's Charlotte Tilbury's perfume. Oh, there's another one. So I'm going to try those. But I did try a sample of this Healthy Glow while we were there. You know, I just put it on my hand. Brie and I were standing there. My skin turned dark, so I don't know if that's exactly going to work, but we'll give it a try. Okay, so now let's go to, I'll show you the palettes. First one. You know, I really would like to have all these. I really do like, and I'll show them on my channel in an actual regular video with my good camera so you guys can see them better, because they are really beautiful palettes. They're very sturdy. I mean, they're, you know, they're real nice, and the edging is done in a plastic as opposed to cardboard. So, you know, a lot of the, you see the reflection there you're getting off that? A lot of these paper, real compressed paper, compressed cardboard palettes are just paper all the way around, like the Jaclyn Hill one is. But this one actually has plastic as the casing for it, as you'll see when I open it. So they're really nice. And then they have one of these little things. I wish I'd stop doing this. Start learning, you know, I get it, companies don't like the expense of printing the names on, but Jesus, start doing it. And so let's flip the mirror back, and there she is. Now see, this is all plastic. Let's see it, so I'm trying to give you a close-up of the colors here. And the reason that, you know, I really, and you notice this big hunker over here, That's because for some reason, I don't know why MAC decided to do, I just dug my nail in it. God, don't you love when you do that? I don't know why MAC decided to do this with these palettes, but they decided to put a highlighter in each one of them. Don't ask me why. The one thing I do like about these palettes is that these are all new formulas. I think there's only one re-release formula that's in here, which is one of the shimmer ones. The packaging on the outside comes in this damn thing, which is okay, but I can't read that. I mean, even when this is on it, it's patterned, so you can't read it. And I can't read it by itself, so I can't read anything about the shadows on here. But anyways, I believe, in talking to Tyler, I think there's 4 or 5 formulas in these. And they're all new, except for one, like I said, one of the shimmers. I can't remember if it was the super shimmer or the top coat shimmer. There's like 2 different shimmers they have in these. And even the mattes that are in these are new. The satins that are in these are new. So these are all new formulations that are in these. So, like I said, except for the one, there's one of the shimmer ones that was released in one collection, but that's it. So anyways, that is Prissy Princess. Now let's go on to Basic Bitch. The reason I picked up Basic Bitch is because I don't have, you know, everything right now is so warm toned. I don't have a lot of cool tone shadows. Give me a close look at this one. This one's a lot of taupes and purples. I thought it was really pretty. And then it had, the other thing is too, is this one has a light enough, hopefully, highlighter that I'll be able to use it. Several of the palettes had much, like for instance, they had a real warm tone palette, but it had a very dark highlighter in it that there's no way I could use. So anyways, really pretty. Now you'll notice that this one has the 2 different shimmers in it. So one of these, I'm not sure which, I will look it up and give it, you know, when I do my full review on these, I'll tell you all about the formulas and everything. But one of those is a re-release, and it was only from a collection. It wasn't part of their permanent line. So anyways, that is those. So I'm thinking today, I like the Basic Bitch because I can do like a gray smoky eye or whatever with it, or just something basic. But I'm thinking I'm going to try out Prissy Princess today. Because I don't know, I really like, and that kind of goes with what I have on right now. So, it's hard to see the colors, isn't it? I wonder if I tilt it down. Can you see the colors there? This is a really super light pink. Really light pink. I mean, like a white light pink. See, it's very, and that's a matte. And then there's kind of a rosy colored, I think this is one of the satin ones. Oh, that didn't show up at all, did it? Come on, MAC. Is that a shimmer or something? It's just like not showing up at all. Okay, next. Okay, now we're going to this one. Let's see if we get some color out of this one. There we go. That one just isn't showing up at all, but that one's real pretty. And now we'll go to this big, very shimmery one here. Oh, that feels so smooth. Really. Sorry for my bracelet here. Yeah, that's pretty. Again, this isn't the best camera to be doing this, but oh well. Very creamy. I can feel that's a creamy matte, because boy is it creamy. Oh yeah, that's nice. Really like that taupey shade. And now this feels like, the creamy mattes almost feel like a combination of a powder and a cream. I guess that's why they call them creamy mattes, huh? And then we'll go to this dark one. Oh, it just feels lovely. Look at that. Real nice charcoal color. So far, it's a really pretty palette. It was only that second one that was kind of a dud. And now we'll go down to this one here, which feels like another... Even these satin ones are incredibly creamy and pigmented. I mean, there's not... Look at that. Really pretty. Look at that. I want to go back to that second one and see if I can get it to Huh. I mean, it won't even pick up on my finger. Look at that. Yeah, oh well. Okie dokie, monkey. So, I've already primed my eyelids and have some translucent powder on them. And now I'm just going to get my brushes. I'm just going to do something real quick because I don't want anything heavy today. We're just going out to the store and running some errands because we're having my son and my grandbabies and my daughter-in-law. Hi Sabrina, she's watching. We're having them over this weekend. So we're getting, this is here in Seattle, so we're gonna get a bunch of yummies and have some fun. Can I use this mirror? Yeah, I don't like it. It's too small. I'm gonna pick up my ugly ass mirror, so we'll have to deal with that. And I'm gonna start off with that super, super light pink. And let's see how it picks up on the brush. Oh yeah. And these are my Wayne Goss brushes, in case anybody's curious. I absolutely love these brushes, I'm telling you. Absolutely love them. Oh yeah, that's a real pretty. If you have light skin, this is really pretty for all over lid color. I don't know if you can see the difference, but it's very brightening. It's a very brightening light pink. Yeah, it's very brightening. I like it so far. You know, I didn't know this, but Tyler at MAC shared with me yesterday, because you know, I always wondered, we were talking about how does MAC choose to come out with, you know, the products they do, and why is it that, you know, I've been using MAC, as I shared with Tyler, ages me a little bit, doesn't it? I've been literally using MAC since MAC started, pretty much. I mean, I started using MAC as a senior in high school, and I think MAC started in '86, and I started using them in '87. So I'm long-term MAC. But anyways, the point is that MAC used to, in my opinion, they used to be the ones setting the trends. And now they kind of seem like they're not. And I asked Tyler about that, and I didn't know this, but he said that MAC actually, right now, as we speak, is working on products for their 2019 collection. 2019. They produce 2 years in advance, according to what he told me. How do you stay on trends when you're producing 2 years in advance? I'll never know. But I thought that was interesting. Now I'm going to go with this taupey, creamy taupey. Let's see how that one goes. Just going to use this as a transition color. Now see, this is a good example right here. Let me show you this, okay? Because I am so sick and tired of hearing people, you know, all the supporters out there saying, you know, oh no, you can do this to your eyeshadow with the Subculture, and you can do it to any eyeshadow and it'll fall apart. Really? Okay, let's try it. I was really digging on that. And do you see how much is there? And I was digging on that. I mean, I was really digging on that. No. You can't do that to any eyeshadow, and every eyeshadow will fall apart. Sorry. I just, you know what? As far as I'm concerned, you have a problem. You have something that goes wrong. It happens to everybody. I mean, you know, they've been lucky that they've been fairly immune publicly so far, at least. I mean, obviously, they've probably had problems behind the scenes, you know, with things. Everybody does. But publicly, they've been fairly immune to it. So you know what? When now you're dealing with something like this, this is not the time to send about a bunch of sick dogs out and attack the detractors and the critics. This is not the time for it. Just admit there's a problem and set about fixing it. That's how you earn the respect of people, is when you have challenges and adversities that you have to face, is that you handle them with grace. I mean, I just blaming the user, saying that it's user error, saying that every shadow will fall apart. Like, no, they don't. For Christ's sakes, I've been using shadows for how many years? And the other thing is too, oh, I went way too high on that, sorry, gotta fix that. The other thing that really upset me, besides the fact of all these comments of, every shadow will fall apart if you do that to it and stuff, which is complete and utter bull. Will shadows give off powder if you dig your brush into them? Of course they will. That's the point of them. That's how the product releases. Will shadows reach pan by you digging your brush into them that very moment within 30 seconds? Hell no. Hell no. I mean, here's the one that I dug into, and you can see, you saw it originally, of course. I mean, you can see the powder that's around it. And you saw the powder that was on it afterwards. And I mean, I took my brush and dug into it. I could keep digging into that, and I'm not going to hit pan on it in 30 seconds. So, whatever. Anyways, admit you got a problem, fix it with grace and dignity, and move on. Drives me nuts. I think I'm going to go for this kind of light champagne type taupey down here. Oh. Are you still there, Sabrina? Are you and my grandbaby still there? Oh, that's pretty. And that's the other thing too. I mean, are you going to get fallout? Yeah, of course you're going to get fallout. I just got a little bit from these here. But everything about the Subculture palette is excessive. Oh yeah, that's a pretty color. It's like just has enough shine in it to make it reflect off of the lid, but not so much as to be obnoxious. Brush hairs everywhere. Okay, I'm going to move into the darker shimmer just to go into the crease here. Or into the, not the crease, you know what I mean, where I'm going. You can see where I'm going. A little under my eye. But anyways, I will, at some point, be reviewing the Subculture palette, without a doubt, because it's a palette I do want. I enjoy, I think the colors in it are really pretty, and I'd like to own it. Oh, okay, hun. But I'm not going to purchase it right now. I want to wait and see what they're going to do, if they're going to reformulate, if they're going to repress, what they plan to do. And see, now here's another good example. I'm going to take the darkest, that really dark charcoal. These are really nice and soft shadows, by the way, in this palette. So far, I'm really impressed with it. Now let's take this here, and let's see what happens when I blend this in. Now, do you see how easy that's blending into my eye there? How it's not leaving, and I'm just very, very lightly ghosting the brush over here, okay? I mean, it almost blended itself. It was that easy and that quick. That's what I've come to expect from Anastasia shadows. And that is definitely not what we have with the Subculture at all. Oh shoot, I just dropped that in there. And the other thing I noticed too with the Subculture is that the colors just muddy and blend into each other. And again, I think that all ties back to them being just straight up pigments with, well, they're not, obviously not straight up pigments, but they're a lot more pigment than the other palette. And I think that just, I think it makes a significant difference when you're going to blend the shadows. These are performing really nice. I'm real happy with the, I really like this creamy matte formula so far of Max here. I really like this. I'm going to put a little more of that dark charcoal right there and draw it in the crease a little more. But see, like when I blend these, they're not disappearing, they're not altering colors, and look at how quick that blends. I mean, I'm barely just ghosting the tip of the brush over. I'm not having to, you know, make my eye bloody doing it. I'm going to go back to that taupe and just add a little more here. But do you have an area of your eye that will not hold pigment? Anybody have that? I do. And interesting, let's see right there. And Brie is the same way. Now watch this. I'm going to put a lot of pigment right there, okay? A lot of eyeshadow. Really pack it in there. See that now? Now when I go in to blend it, let's take, I'm just going to take some that's really light pink. And this is not just MAC. This happens on every, see, it's already disappearing right there. It happens on every shadow. It's not these shadows. I don't care how much I pack color in that one area of my eye, it will not stay. Okay, moving along. Actually, I want a little taupe in the bottom there. I really like this palette so far. I was a little concerned with, you know, when I heard that these were all new formulas, because, you know, the new formula things kind of got me a little rattled right now, given what's happened. But I'm really impressed with these so far. I'm just using my GRWM here to clean my brush. My God, I've been on here for an hour and something. Holy cow! I gotta hurry up, don't I? Okay. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. What am I doing? Okay, back to the eyelid. Since these are so pretty, I mean, these have a really, they're not, I'm going to get to the super shimmery one here in a minute, but these light shimmer ones have a very light shimmer tone, but it's very pretty. And what I like about it is that you can ghost it on like I am right now, just real, God, look at that. The light from above, you can see every eyelid, or every freaking vein in my eye. You normally can't see that, but you can with the light beaming on me. Gross! Anyways, what I really like about these, though, is you can put them on real light, like I am. So, you know, you could use them for work or whatever. Or, you know, this palette really has the ability to be multifaceted, because you can, you know, like use something like Fix Plus or something to really darken these colors up and give them impact and let them out to play, or you can just use them the way that they are and they give a real nice soft shine to the eye, you know. I really like it so far. Pretty impressed. And they blend beautifully. I'm not having any problems with blending these. Oh, my battery's going dead. When my battery starts going dead, I'll probably won't even be able to finish my look before it goes dead. But that's okay. What did I do there? You know what I wish? The only thing I wish Mac would have done with these is I really wish that instead of taking up this big space over here with a highlighter, and that's a new formula highlighter, by the way, too. That is not their current on-the-market highlighter. It's a completely new formula, and according to what Ty told me, it is supposed to be a more quote-unquote natural-looking formula. But you know what? Personally, myself, I'm tired of, I'm just tired of highlighters, and I love highlighters, but I would much rather have had them take that highlighter out of there and put a couple more shades, a couple more of these eyeshadow shades in there. That's just my personal opinion. Okay, almost done, almost done, almost done. Got a little darky down here. Oh, so how are you guys doing? Huh? Guess what I got coming up next week? Oh boy. I have finally tested the Jaclyn Hill X Morphe palette enough that I am comfortable giving a review on it now. And next week, I will not only be recording the review, we'll be having the giveaway. I'm real excited about that. Okay, now I'm going to try this real sparkly sucker. I'm going to try, excuse me, I want to try it with a brush first. Let's see what she does. I have a feeling, oh, well, I was going to say I have a feeling you're going to need a Fix Plus with this, but bitch just proved me wrong. This is another example right here, though, of the fact that it performs beautifully on its own, but if you were to add Fix Plus to it, it would probably just go kabam! Matter of fact, let's do that. Where's my Fix Plus? Okay, let's try it out. Oh, I don't want to get my, hang on here, hope my battery doesn't run out. Let me get my, where are you? My MAC packing brush, where are you? That's my 242. Sorry for the noise. What the hell? Oh, that's interesting. Where the hell did my MAC brush go? I wonder if it'll work on this. 242, I don't know if it'll pick up on this or not. Huh. That's weird. Doesn't it just drive me nuts when you're looking for something and you can't find it? Sorry, but there it is. Sitting there the whole damn time. What I was looking for is my 239. Yeah. Okay, now, because this should pick up real nice for this product. Oh yeah. So, packed it on there. Let's give her a open sesame. Whoa! Fan just blew all over the place. Okay, now let's see what she does. Oh yeah. See that difference? Holy schmoly. Yeah, that made a difference. Holy cow, that turned like, I mean, seriously. That turned like metallic. Literally. Wow. Can you see that? I mean, that like totally turned metallic. Pretty, pretty. Oh, I like that. See, now that's the way a shimmer shadow, and look at that, my brush is still wet, and look at how it picked up. I don't even know if I need, let's try and see if I even need to get it wet again. Look at that. Now see, that is the way a shimmer shadow should perform. That is nice. I really like the duality of this palette because literally I cannot stress enough how nice this is to have. You know, if I don't want a banging look, you know, and I want something soft and, you know, maybe I'm going out to dinner and I just want a real soft look, or I'm going to work or something, I can get that with this palette, and I can also get a, you know, a real nice look out of it. Okay, I just want to do one more thing and then I'm done, and that is just to blend this in a little. Actually, I'm going to use the packer. Where are we? There we go. I really, really like that about this palette. Yeah, it's nice. Because I can wear this really, really light on my lid, or I can just add a little bit of Fix Plus to it, and she comes alive. Big time. I mean, look at that. Am I on the screen? There we go. Ooh, just love that. Love it when shadows perform like that. I would highly, highly recommend. I've only worked with this one so far. You guys saw me open them earlier. But I would highly recommend this palette. I really, you know, now I'm gonna wish, because of how nice this one's performing, I'm gonna wish I had all the others. Oh, I want to try this highlighter. I don't know, let's see how dark it is first. Let's try a clean area. Yeah, it's got a peachy gold. I don't know if it's gonna be too dark for me or not. Well, let's try it out. How about that, huh? And these pick up beautifully. I mean, look how much product picked up on the brush. Holy moly. See the powder? Now again, this, oh, hold on. I'm gonna wipe off. That's the only thing that sucks about that last shadow that I dealt with. Because I have sparkles all over my face here. So I would, you know, if I was to use this again, I would just either do my eyes first or put shadow shields on underneath. My Wayne Goss brushes are freaking dumping hairs. I cannot believe it. I've never seen this before. It's kind of tweaking me out. For how much I pay for them, they should not be dumping hairs on my face. Now again, this is a new formula of the highlighter as well. This isn't like any other that they have in their regular lineup right now. It's said to be a more natural formula, or more natural, and it is. Definitely. I mean, it's not, you know, kabam in your face, but I'm good with that because that's not what I always want. Highly recommend this palette. Again, this is the Prissy Princess. I am thrilled that I purchased that for $39.50. Yeah. Okay. Now the last thing I need to do is curl my schmallashes, slap on some mascara, and I'm done. Anyway, so I will next week I will for sure get, I also have, the other thing I have coming is the review. Brie and I did a very in-depth review on Z Palette's Z Potter, and that will be coming next week along with you know, I show you, you guys were curious how I was gonna, if you saw my Morphe pigment haul where I swatched each one of the pigments, you know, I said in that video, if you guys want to see how I depot them, let me know. And of course, you know, a lot of people said yes, they wanted to see how I depot them. And so I thought, well, you know what? might as well do it with a Z-Potter. So I did. And I recorded all of them. I won't, you know, I'll put it like at the end of the video so that if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to watch it. If you just want to see the review, that'll be at the beginning of the video. And then if you're one of those people that, you know, kind of likes to zen out by watching people do repetitive stuff, then you can continue on and watch me depot all, I don't know what there were, like 40 of them or something. But I'll tell you one thing, wow, that's all I can say. If you're somebody that depots a lot of stuff, watch our review. Brie and I did it together because I was really, really shocked by, you know, you just gotta watch it. I ain't saying what I thought of it now, or nobody will watch it because they'll hear what I think of it. And then, so the Z-Potter review is coming. The Jaclyn Hill review is coming, along with the giveaway. I haven't decided how many palettes I want to give away the first one yet, because I want to do several giveaways. And I have, when I purchased 9 palettes. So, I don't know, I might like do 2 or 3 the first time. And then I have another giveaway that'll be coming after that. I've got a bunch of really neat stuff for our 500 giveaway. Stuff from Too Faced, like chocolate bar palette, peach palette. I have some really neat stuff. So you guys, if you like our channel, make sure and subscribe and recommend people to our channel, because we've got some really neat stuff coming up. And I'm not somebody that is just going to be doing giveaways just to attract an audience. Granted, that is a bonus of it, but I will be doing giveaways regularly for our audience, most important. And I will, you know, I'll never be a channel that stops giving back. It's just not, you know, I see all these big channels out there, and, you know, granted they can, you know, it's their channel, they can run things the way they want to, but I think to myself, Jesus, you know, I'm doing giveaways at the beginning of my channel, as are other new channels, a lot of them out there, and, you know, we have to buy everything ourselves. We don't get loads of PR. And then I look at these big channels that get just bucket loads of PR, and if they do maybe 1 giveaway a year, I just don't get it. It's like, you know what? Give back to your damn audience. They've made you what you are. Show that appreciation in the way that counts, you know? A lot of these people watching see all this makeup, this beautiful makeup you use and you have, and they can't afford it. Give them a chance to own some of it, you know? That's just my belief on it, but, you know, again, I just can't understand people who don't give back, especially, you know, I know the giveaways I have planned, and that's buying all the products myself. If I was receiving products from companies, you damn right I'd be doing them all the time. Are you kidding? I'd be doing giveaways even more than I already have planned if I was receiving PR from companies. But instead, you know, instead of giving back to the audience that's made them what they are, they store it for themselves or give it to friends or family or whatever, and I get that, you know, I'd give to friends and family too if I had a bunch of extra stuff like that. But my audience would be my first priority, because your audience is, you know, without them, you're jack crack, at least in terms of this format. This is Rodial's Lip Pencil Nude, and I'm not happy with this, but I'm trying it again. And the reason I'm not happy with it is because when I use it, it breaks off little pieces all along, or the whole damn end. I've had to resharpen this fully twice because it's just completely broke off. I don't care for the color, but, you know, I'll use it. It's good just to give me outline when I want to do a light lift like I do today. I just don't like the texture of it though. Okay, lastly, I think I'm going to try my new MAC lip gloss. Where'd you go, baby? And then, always done. Thank you guys so much for visiting with me and watching. Oh, God, I love the smell of these. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, I love that color. Oh my God. Look at that, you guys. Oh, look at that. Look at that color. Of course, it helped if I wasn't blocking it. Sorry. Oh, I love this color. It's a peachy pink. By the way, I suppose I should tell you what it is, huh? This is Steppin' Out. This is MAC's Dazzle Glass. And boy, is it dazzling. Look at that. Oh, I love the color. Love that color. I cannot stress that enough. You know, I wish companies like MAC would start working with women my age and men. I mean, it's pretty evident we use their products. You know what? It's not just the younger folks that need to see how things perform. Especially considering the fact that so many products perform differently on mature skin than they do younger skin. Wow, I love that. Can you see the shine in that? You see that damn lip liner? It would not blend. See it right there? You can see it all, there we go, you can see it all along my top lip. Would not blend. Did on my bottom. Oh. Had a little too much in the center there. You can see it sticking. Okay. Anyways, I am done. Done. The lighting sucks, but sorry about that. So that is the new MAC, their new personality, one of the personality palettes. I really like it a lot. So, thanks for watching. Send my love to you guys across the miles. And to my daughter-in-law, Sabrina, and my grandkids. I love you. And no matter where you're at in the world, I hope life's treating you good. And if you're having struggles, you're beating those bitches back and persevering. Never give up. Never give in. Never lose faith. I love you guys. Have a beautiful weekend. Wishing y'all well, and make sure and stay tuned next week because we got some cool stuff coming. Love you. Bye.